Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is Matiullah Khatak. Our topic is Lingquan Gorge by To Ping Ching. So keep the writer's name in mind because it is sometime asked in the MCQs part of the paper. The story deals with a very important aspect of our lives. Here the writer guarantees the success and progress of a country, of a nation, unstoppable. If each member of this large family is devoted selflessly to the task assigned to him, so one must try one's level best to take to completion the responsibility that has been allocated for him. So, this is the striking idea that you can say the theme of the lesson that the writer wants to convey. And the same thing is expressed by our national poet in one of his couplet where he says अफराद के हाथों में है अक़वाम की तकदीर अफराद के हाथों में है अक़वाम की तकदीर हर फर्द है मिल्लत के मुकद्दर का सितारा. So each individual is responsible for the progress prosperity of his nation. At the end of this lesson we have certain objectives to achieve, so keep these objectives in mind while listening to the video lecture. Dear students, in our previous presentation, we learned that Changyo did not like the remarks, the comment by the writer that you are very intelligent, you are quite sharp, but at the same time he used a word for him which is you little imp, and this word was very much disliked by Cheng Yo because he told the writer that I have a name of mine and you should not call me an imp. And he pointed to his little sister and then told the writer that she has a name of hers. So this was the reaction. This was the reaction which showed that he did not like the word imp. About imp, as I told you, it means devil. कि तुम बड़े शैतान लगते हो, शरीर लगते हो. So he did not like this comment, this remark of the writer. As a result to this remark, he did not only remove the writer's hands from his face, but he also went away from him and stopped talking to the writer. He did not talk to the writer anymore. The writer now feels sorry for the word that he used for him instead of his good name. So, what happens next? Let us see it today. I sat, now this is what the writer tells us. I sat by the stove, smoking and rubbing the dying mud from my hands. So he said, the first thing we noticed over here, now he is sitting close to the stove. Why? Because it is very cold outside, and inside about the cave, as he told us, the writer told us in the start that it was large, but it was very warm. Why it was warm? Because a stove was burning there. So he sat by the stove, smoking, and he started rubbing what? The drying mud from his hands, because he at one particular point stage we noticed that his foot caught in something and he fell, and then he was trying to get up once again. For that he was scrubbing his hands, and so there was a lot of mud stuck to his hands. Now he was rubbing that mud from his hands. A Chengyo crawled onto my lap and looked into my eyes. Now we see that Chengyo, he crept onto my lap, crawled, as you know, he crept onto my lap and looked into my eyes. And he started looking into my eyes and he asked me a question. Is it going to snow tomorrow, uncle? Will there be any snow tomorrow, uncle? This was the question that was put by Chengyo to the writer. I pressed his icy red little nose. So you can notice, you can see that he pressed. This is because the writer likes him now, because he is very sharp, he is very intelligent, he is very dutiful. The writer noticed this thing and he has started loving him. So he pressed his icy red little nose. So these are adjective. Icy red little nose. This is the noun nose. These are all adjectives. And he told little boy, as soon as we get our telephone line connected up with heaven, I will ask for you. So this is what the writer is getting with him. He thinks that he is a little boy, so he is using funny expression, and he tells him, as soon as I get my telephone line connected with God, I will ask for you whether it will be snowing or not. This was once again which Chengyo did not like, and angrily he became angry. He leaped down. Once again he leaped down. He went away and stood a meter away from me. So he stood how many? He stood a meter away from me, scowling at me. Now he started looking at me in an angry way. So scowling means to look at somebody in an angry way because he has done something which you do not like. And this kind of looking at somebody is called scowling at me. Why did he started behaving like this? Because he asked the writer to tell him about whether it will snow tomorrow or not, and the writer response was based on fun. It was funny, and this made him angry. He leaped down once again and from his lap and stood a meter away and started looking at him angrily and answered the writer, quit your kidding. Quit your kidding means stop this behavior of you and that you are adopting with me. I am not a kid anymore. So quit your kidding means stop your funny behavior which usually people adopt when they are talking to children, kids. And he told the writer, next, you have got a newspaper in your pocket. You have newspaper in your pocket. Why don't you look at the weather report? Why don't you open that newspaper and read about the weather report tomorrow? He resumed his seat in the doorway. Resumed means he to go back to the seat or place that you occupied earlier. So where he was sitting earlier, he went away from the writer and took his seat there once again. So the writer tells us he resumed, he went back to the seat where he was already sitting in the doorway. He clamped his elbows on his knees. So clamped means hold something tightly. So he clamped on his knees, clamped his elbows. You can imagine the way he was sitting on a stool and he clamped his elbows. He placed his elbows on his knees but very tightly, rested his face in his hands, and once again he adopted the same position as we had seen him in the start of the lesson. Rested his face, supported his face in his hands once again, and peered out and started looking closely. Peered out means to look at something in a very close way, in a very fixed way, and started looking closely through the rent in the curtain, through that hole that was in the curtain, through that cut, that torn piece of the cloth of the curtain, and he started looking through that hole. When I asked him where the kettle was, so the kettle which is used for cooking purpose, that utensil, he ignored me. He didn't care about me. I certainly was sorry I had offended my small host. So the writer now feels sorry that he had made angry. Offended means upset, made angry my little host. Why do you want to know about the snow, Chengyo? So the writer now wants to extend his conversation with him, to continue his conversation with him, and he wants to know more about this little boy. So he asked a question of this little boy, little but responsible boy, you can say. Why do you want to know about the snow, Chengyo? Why do you want to know about the weather tomorrow? I asked him, is it because you cannot go out and play when it is snowing? So the writer has a very, um, you can say, of childish idea, which is usually attached to children, because they think like this. If a children ask you about something, your response definitely would be like a child. You cannot think about him like a man. But this boy, this little uh, child, 7 or 8 years old, as you learnt it, is behaving very much like a man, a grown-up man. So the writer opinions is that maybe he want to know about the weather tomorrow, because it would not be possible for him to go out and play outside that cave. That's why the writer asked him, is it because you cannot go out? Because of this reason, it would not be possible for you to go out and play, and that bad weather, that bad when it is snowing. He did not even bother to look at me. He did not even noticed me. He did not care about me. Did not give any importance to me. Did not even bother to look at me means he did not give any importance to me. And he simply told me, Papa says, if it is still snowing tomorrow, we'll have to quit work. So he was worrying all about his papa. His papa has told him, if it continued snowing for many days, for the days coming next, it would not be possible for them to continue this work, and they will have to stop working here. So he was worrying about his papa work. So you can imagine how much maturity this little boy shows, which changed the mind of the writer. Before this, you had noticed that the writer wanted to take some rest for some time out of the gale, out of the strong wind. But now you will see that because of this little child, uh, his mind completely changes and he starts heading toward his duty without any further delay. So he asked the writer, he asked that little boy, what does your pa do? What does your papa do? So pa is conversational, which your papa do. He opens up mountains. The little boy tells him that my papa opens up mountains, cuts mountains. Opens up means cuts mountain. How does he cut mountain? By blasting them up with explosive material. This expression, if explained, means he blasts through mountains. He installs charges, explosive material in the mountains, blasts them, and cuts them in order to make a way through the mountains. So He opens up mountains. He replied, the child replied proudly, in a very proud manner, that my father is a laborer and he blasts through mountain, he cuts mountains. And my next question was, where does he do his work? Chengyo pointed with pursed lips. Pursed lips means with the pressed lips. He pressed his lips against each other and pointed to a site, to a place which was opposite to the cave where they were living. So Chengyu pointed with pursed lips at the work site opposite. Where the work was going on, he pointed to that place and his lips he pressed against each other. I looked. The writer says, when I looked in that direction, if I could see anything, it was a beam of light that was going straight up into the heaven. What he could see, the writer says, I could see only a searchlight beam, a torch light beam, a ray of light I could see that was going up straight into the heaven, shining through the drifting snowflakes. And I could see that this ray of light was shining through the drifting snowflakes. Drifting means the way the snow falls from above to the ground. So the drifting means falling slowly, and he could see this ray of light shining through the drifting snowflakes, the snow that was falling from the sky, and it was going up straight into the heaven. And this ray of light, this beam of light, was going straight up into the heaven. In its light, I could vaguely discern. In this light, I could not clearly differentiate. Discern means differentiate, vaguely, not clearly. It was not possible for me to clearly differentiate. What I could differentiate? A few dozen men. There were a dozen men, and they were busy in work, and that gorge the site where they were working. So I could vaguely discern, I could with great difficulty differentiate a few dozen men who seemed pasted to the side of the towering cliff. Towering means high cliff, very high cliff. And cliff, you know about cliff, a standing rock, extremely steep rock is called cliff. So it was very high, standing, steep rock, and they were clinging and they were sticking to the side of that high rock. Who seemed pested means, as you can see, they were stuck, they cling. These are the first forms to something. So they were clinging, sticking to the side of that high rock. What they were doing? Drilling holes. They were making holes with the help of that machine for dynamite charges, because they wanted to install, to place that explosive material in those holes, and then they would blast it, which made the mountain easier for them to cut into pieces, to cut the way through the mountain. So the holes were like the steps of a ladder to the sky. So these holes seemed to the writer is the steps of a ladder. They were very much like the steps of a ladder rising up to the sky, as if a ladder had been placed against the rock, against the cliff, to let these people go up into the sky. So these steps were very much like the steps of a ladder rising to the sky. And the writer once again asked him, how can you tell which one is your father? At this distance, there is this much great distance. How is it possible for you to differentiate which one is your father? The writer once again asked the boy The right and the boy's answer is, I can't see him plainly. Plainly means clearly, but Papa says he can see me. I cannot see him clearly, but my Papa says that he can see me clearly. He says, this is what his father has told him. He says, all he has to do is turn around. This is what his Papa has told him, that he turns around the whole day. Turns around means sometime he looks at the cave, toward the cave, sometime toward his mother, sometime toward other places which interest him. So all day he has to turn around while working. I often sit here so he can see me. So he tells the writer, I often sit here, I take my seat here. Why? Because so that my father can see me while sitting here, that I am still on my duty. So this thing surprised the writer very much, and he said with a lot of surprise, astonishment, oh, so that was it. So this is the very reason that uh, you have kept this seat for such a long time, that you have continued to sit here on this stool. So this is the very reason for that. The icy snow melted from my boots. Snow now the snow was melting from his boots. So students, you must know that it was snowing hardly, and it was difficult to walk or travel in that kind of weather. Mm, So his boots were completely covered with snow, and now he tells us that the snow, the icy snow, it was melting from my boots, my numbed legs which you cannot feel whether they are in their good condition, normal condition or not, because of extreme snowing, because of this bad weather. It was not possible for him to feel his legs whether they are in their normal condition or not, and now they were coming back into their normal condition. That's why the writer says, my numbed legs. So numbed means you can see, unable to feel, unable to feel because of what? Because of extreme cold. They were now thawing out. Now they were getting warm. Thawing out, they were getting warm slowly. Ached painfully, but they were out giving out extreme pain. I stamped to help the circulation. In order to make them feel normal, he stamped means to hit the ground with foot. He hit the ground with foot in order to help the circulation, means so that the blood starts circulation in his veins. So he hit the ground with his foot in order to help his legs get the circulation of the blood in their proper way. Chengyo waved. Now, when he saw that he was making a noise, Chengyo noticed that he was making a noise. He waved. Waved means he shook his hand warningly, and he, as if he was giving me a warning not to do this. I understood. I got the point. I got his. I got his message. He was afraid I would wake up his baby sister, because he was afraid I should not wake up his baby sister. He did not want that the writer should cause his baby sister to wake up. So, really, I once again said to him, you really take good care of your sister. You take great care of your sister. I commented, I appreciated him. Mama says, this is the boy's response. Mama says, my job is to look after her, take care of her. Mama has said to me that my job is to take care of your little baby sister. When mama comes home, this is the boy's response. When she comes home, I can knock off. तो फिर क्या हो जाता है, मेरी छुट्टी हो जाती है. Knock off means I'm quite free. I can go anywhere I want to go. When she comes home, and then I'm quite free. And then I have no responsibility. I have no duty. I can knock off. मेरी छुट्टी हो जाती है. So the writer asked him, so you are on the job every day. You are doing this duty every day. I hugged him. I pressed him against my cheeks. I gave him a lot of love. Hug means to embrace somebody, to press somebody against your chest, against your cheeks. So this is what he did. I hugged him. What does Mama do? And then I asked him, what does she do? And he pointed to the road below the cave. Now he points to the road below the cave. What happens? What is happening below the cave? We'll see it in the next lecture. Till then, thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.